welcome to a brand new year of Hidden in the Universal Vault. I'm Ryan, your host, and I'm welcoming you to 2024. So let's get back to the swing of things. I wasn't going to watch a movie today, but I was really wanting to watch this, and this is one of the titles I got for Christmas. So let's kick off 2024 with an old movie. Yeah, I'm going back to the 1970s as we take a look at from legendary director Alfred Hitchcock. And that's John Finch, Barry Forster. Released in 1972, Frenzy. Yes, I'm finally covering Alfred Hitchcock's second to last film, Frenzy. Now, Frenzy was released, as I said, it was released in 1972. This would be Hitch's second to last film. His final movie was Family Plot, 1976. So I wanted to cover this one for the longest time because I was really interested in this movie. And this movie is phenomenal. This movie is great. But yeah, the movie also co-stars Billy Whitelaw, Anna Mazzei, Barbara Lee Hunt, Bernard Kravitz, and Vivian Marchesta. I'm probably getting that last name wrong, and Clive Swift in the cast. So, anyways, and yeah, so Frenzy focus on these two men, Dick Blaney and Bob Rusk, or Blaney and Rusk. We'll just use that as the last name. So John Finch plays Dick Blaney. I'm getting my names wrong. And Barry Foster is Robert Rusk. So basically, it starts out with the movie starts as we see a great view of London. The whole movie shot in London, England, and that's going back to Hitch's roots in London from his previous film Topaz, which was filmed in America. So basically, it focused on Blaney. He began the film, we see an overshot, and we see a guy who's being interviewed. We get a Hitch cameo in the film. So he basically they find this woman laying in the river, and she's been killed with a necktie. They're called the necktie murders. They don't really know. The citizens in London don't know. So we get the color necktie, jump cut to Blaney putting on the tie, the same color tie, as they're ready to head to work. He loses his job because he drinks too much alcohol, so his boss decides, "You're done, pal. Get out. You're done. You're laid off, you're fired. Get out of my bar." So he basically gets out, he throws the change like that and says, "Here's the change," and he just walks out the door. So basically he's like bummed and whatnot. He meets up with Rusk, Barry Foster, who's like his best friend. So he helps him out. He decides, I'm going to give you some money. In England, it's known as pounds. Pounds are different than the currencies in America. I don't have money to show you. I should have that ready. But anyways, I'll just use this example. We'll just say a quarter. This is American currency right here. So essentially in England, they go by pounds. Again, it's equivalent to like 1 pound is like $1. I think 5 pounds is $5. But anyways, I'm getting off topic right now. So he decides he only had one cigarette, so he's bummed. So Russ gives him the cigarette and says, "Hey, if you need help by your buddy, let me know. I'm your man. I'm your guy." So he basically he has a girlfriend named Babs. Well, he basically breaks up with his old girlfriend, so he's hanging out with Babs, and she's this kind. She's a co-worker. She's co-worker with Dick Blaney. He's a co-worker with that at the bar. So he basically, yeah, that kind of thing. If you don't know who Anna Mazzei is, her father Raymond Mazzei, who I covered in the old Dark House, was an actor for the Carl Laemmle era at Universal. And Imazzi would also go on to have a career later in 1989's Around the World in 80 Days with Pierce Brosnan. So I wanted to kind of bring that up. So basically, it turns out that she's a secretary. She's at the in the office, and he comes in. He's mad, so he walks out. Then we're introduced to Rusk, who goes by the name of Robertson. So I'm not really going to talk about it because there is some hard moments. It's very hard to watch. There's one scene literally that's hard. So he goes in there and he basically, but he goes in uninvited. It's like, how'd you get in here? I'm going out to lunch. If you want to talk to my secretary, something like that. It's like, oh, I don't need to talk to your secretary. So he's eating that apple. So before I go on with that, he also Russ gives Blaney some grapes to give to Babs. So he walks in the bar, he talks to a bunch of these cops that they're trying to discover who this necktie murderer is. It's not really much. It's not, honestly, it kind of spoils it a little bit. There's no mystery to it. Hitch usually likes to make mystery in his films, keep the suspense, and keep the mystery hidden. Here it's already mentioned right in the beginning of the film. So the mystery's not really revealed. So that's not given away. It happens. So he basically in there and he's getting the brandy and the cops are asking, what's good, Maisie? And then they offer the cops shepherd's pie. So they're like, I'll take a shepherd's pie. So he drinks and he wants to get another glass. And he's mad at the bartender saying, are you blind? Ask for a brandy. Make that triple. So he's really furiously mad at the bartender. So he leaves the bar, meets up with Rusk, who introduces him to his mom and says, do a favor, take the pips out, they're bad for your appendix. Take the pips out of the grapes, they're bad for your appendix. So he leaves. Now we get to what I was going to say. So he basically, to put it simply, Rusk is a predator. He basically preys on him, and he really gets nasty and evil. You can see the sweat. I'll put some images up in the video so you guys can get an idea of what I'm talking about, because I have to really mention with images. I'm not going to put anything bad because I don't want YouTube to block me. So he's doing all sexual things to this woman. So he does that, ultimately killing Dick Blaney's ex with the necktie. That's not given away. That's like in the beginning of the film. So they're trying to find clues, and all of a sudden he leaves. The police don't know anything about it. He just leaves. He's sweating. He has an apple, so eating the apple. So he basically roots through the woman's money. So he grabs whatever money, whatever pounds it is. So he grabs like 500 pounds or 600, something like that. I don't know London currency. That's another thing with that. So he gets that, and it's just insane. So he leaves. We wait 4 minutes. A secretary comes up. 4 minutes in, she screams. The cops ask questions and realize Dick Blaney is the culprit in it. And we don't know that. And he's like, it's basically, Hitch likes to do, let's frame the lead. Let's frame the lead character so much. And I had to go more in depth with this film because I have to really talk about it. But it's such a good movie. So basically, yeah. So he goes, and I'm not going to give away the ending. The ending you have to see for yourself because the ending is going to make you think. It's by far, normally I would say it's a bad ending, it just ends. Here, Hitch does it differently than anything else does. And that's what I love about Alfred Hitchcock. He leaves the audience puzzled. It might make you puzzled. He's kind of like M. Night Shyamalan before M. Night Shyamalan, if I want to explain the what the twist kind of thing. So, basically, you don't see who the second person kills, but he takes this He takes this. It's the middle of the dark. He takes the cart. So he goes upstairs. Realize. Sorry about that, guys. Still have a little bit of sinuses. But anyways, he basically goes and he has a wheelbarrow full what appears to be a potato sack. It's like an apron. So he goes back upstairs and he just relaxes, gets up. He's rooting for some more money, and all of a sudden he stands. He's like that, and then you see like camera shots real fast and realize the pin I have is gone. My pin is gone. And he's running. Essentially, he's in hot water. So, yeah, and realize the cops are there. They go after Dick Blady, and now he's arrested by the cops, and he goes to trial. And there's so many good lines. Like the beginning of the scene, I forgot to mention. There's a line that Bob Rusk says, and he's like, "Peeler, peel me a paw." That's what the old mom used to say when I was a kid. That kind of thing. Mum in England it goes by mum. But yeah, and now he goes to trial, and he realizes it was he's like, "Rusk, I will get you, you bastard. I'll kill you, you bastard." And then it's like so powerful. It's just, I'm sitting there like, he goes to trial. Now the cops arrest him, and he's set to get life in prison. So he's there. He's like screaming, trying to back off. The cops hold him back. So he basically falls down and he tries to commit suicide, and he's like blood coming down on the side right here. So blood is like coming down, and yeah, you know where this is going to go, and it's just so he can get into the hospital. I'm not going to give away that twist, but we're just going to stop there. If I talk more about it, I'm going to give away what is going on. Let's actually talk about the actual thoughts. This movie is a masterpiece. Hitchcock, for his second last film, nailed it. I did see some of Family Plot, and that was okay, but I think Frenzy just nails it out of the park. Hitch did a phenomenal job. Now, I didn't see Torn Curtain or Topaz, so I can't really say if they're any better. I will get around to checking out. I don't have Topaz or Torn Curtain, so I can't really say much about that. But holy crap, wow, was this such a great movie. This movie is a freaking masterpiece. I don't want to give away the end, but man, Barry Forster as Robert Rusk is chilling. The scene alone, the sexual assault scene alone is so freaking chilling. It's like, the guy is so scary. When they zoom up to him, the sweat coming down, he is just so frightening. I'm like doing this, I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wow. John Finch, so good. I think that's also what makes this good. I give Alfred Hitchcock credit for having unknowns in the lead, except for Anna Mazzei. She's the only one that's famous later on in the career. But so many good performances. Barbara Lee Hunt is great. Like, it's so chilling. Like, the terrified scene where she's screaming, the ending will make you literally think. And normally with any other director, I would say, wow, this was a crap ending. But with Hitchcock, there is no bad ending. It is so good. I mean, I'm this close to putting on the best list, but again, we're just starting the year off, so I can't really say. But wow, what a good year to start. So far, this has started out great. Now, it is really good. It's not for everyone. It is a hard movie to watch. If you feel offended or feel cringe watching that scene alone with Barry Forster's Robert Rusk. I forgot to mention the scene where the cops are confronting him. They're trying to find a necktie murder. That's great too. The one line where he's like, "Well, you haven't met my friend Dick. Funny fella." And then it's like the cops are just trying to find out. But man, I can go on and on and on. But I really don't want to give away the twist at the end. But let's just say it has. I the twist was, I was not expecting the twist. I thought, oh, well, yeah, I'm not going to mention it. Though this is the first and only Hitchcock film to add nudity in the film, so I wanted to let everybody know. The back of the DVD even says, in the Did You Know, this was Hitchcock's only film to include a nude scene. And there is nudity in it, and it's his only movie to get an R rating. I'll probably put all that in there, but yeah, my battery is almost going to die, so yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the artwork. Now, this is the reissue of a reissue of a reissue. Now, this is a reissue of what was the Alfred Hitchcock, I believe, Masterpiece Collection, which was a box set that had this in it. This was a reprint. I'll go ahead and show you that. But this is also a reprint of an old DVD from 2000. In fact, this was actually part of the Alfred Hitchcock Collection 2000. I'll put the photo right there, so you guys can go ahead and check that photo out so I can show you that. But this is actually a print, and I'll show you the disc art. There it is. I like the old font from the poster. This was the poster font, and I don't know if you could see it in the photo, but you can see there's a silhouette of my man Hitchcock. Yep, Alfred Hitchcock, a director that I like. Oh, I forgot to show you the back. There's the back with the silhouette and our three main characters. And yeah, this is an awesome movie. This is just, wow. Special features. I did watch the special features. You get the story of Frenzy, production notes, production photograph, and theatrical trailer. So you can check out the trailer on Fear's YouTube page. So if you want to check that out, you can. The featurette's really good. But yeah, like I said again, wow. Wow. So anyways, like I always do, final verdict. Should you see Frenzy? Yes. Absolutely. This is an automatic recommendation. This may be Hitch's best film that was made in the 70s. It totally outbeats Family Plot. I haven't watched the whole thing. I had Family Plot on VHS, but I never finished the whole thing. I watched part of it. And I remember that being pretty solid. But for Hitchcock's second to last film, this was amazing. I feel like this is just the perfect Hitchcock film. I give Hitch credit. It is extremely dark. Hitch never did a sort of dark movie in his career. Hitch has done a lot of suspense. This is more or less a thriller more than suspense. But I do have Rear Window, and I do have Psycho, and I do plan on covering those later on down the road. But for now, Frenzy is just really good. I had fun. I had a good time. So, yeah. So go check out Frenzy. I had a great time with this movie. It was a ton of fun. If you can ignore the sexual assault scene, this movie is actually pretty tame. If they would have not had that or nudity, I think this is a perfect movie for probably teenagers to watch. But I'm not recommending it for anybody. If you're squeamish over those scenes, you might not get much out of this. But if you're an Alfred Hitchcock fan, or if you want to see a second to last film, I can recommend this in a heartbeat. So yeah, that is my review of Frenzy. Go check the movie out, guys. It is so good. So, yeah, if you do like the content put on the channel, like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, do all that good stuff that YouTube likes to do. So, let's enter 2024 with this year. So far with watching this, I feel like this movie is just a masterpiece. And hopefully 2024 will be as good as it was last year. But until then, yep. And yeah. And as always, keep watching those Universal movies, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.